in the Philippines, no matter who it is, you have to give a remark of gesture of respecting them. Here it's sometimes you do it, but sometimes it's a handshake. Sometimes it's the remark of respecting them. So trying to figure out which one is which when I'm communicating with other people is a bit confusing. There was one time where I did the remark of respect.
My host country, if education is so different from my home country, because in my home country, I think university is 3 years, but here it's 4 years, and then they focus more on practical and skills, but here you have to go to class to learn more about English and the curriculum of studying.
Oh, Kidul, di mana ya?
Good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you all on Talkative. I am your host, Indy, and for this episode on Talkative today, we will meet the international students of the University of AMIKOM Yogyakarta that is specifically from abroad. They are from the international major of the Bachelor of Communication Science major, and truly, I cannot wait to hear all of their experiences here in this campus and in Indonesia. Let's go. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
meeting you too.
Nice to meet you. Okay, maybe you would like to introduce yourselves to our audiences first?
Yeah, my name is Bezibweki Qudrah. I come from Uganda, Africa. I'm a student at AMIKOM. I'm majoring in Communication Science, Faculty of Social and Economy. Thank you.
My name is Ryan Danilo. I'm from the Philippines and I major in the Bachelor in Communication Science here at AMIKOM.
Okay, so you are from Uganda and you are from
The Philippines.
the Philippines. Wow. I heard that this is in your year. It is you guys are the only ones who are from abroad, right? Within
Yes.
your year.
Yes.
Yes.
Within your, so you are in one class.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, how did you guys find out about the University of AMIKOM?
It was a last minute thing and a funny thing through my dad's friend. He has kids at AMIKOM, so he told my dad AMIKOM will be good for me because of the course I wanted to do. So my dad obliged to it, and I joined AMIKOM from 2021 till to date. I'm in AMIKOM, and the process was a bit difficult because online classes are not usually comfortable and good for education, and due to the time difference, it was so difficult for me to connect. But within time, we came offline and we joined AMIKOM, and it's a good feeling, and I appreciate for that.
How much is the time difference here in Uganda?
4 hours. Indonesia is 4 hours ahead of Uganda.
Okay, that's very interesting. How about you?
If Qudrah was considered a funny situation, mine is a funny story, mainly because I'm half Filipino, half Indonesian. So Indonesian culture wasn't that much of a shock to me since my mom introduced to me at an early age. And then what made it funny is because my mom told me go look for some universities here in Jogja. I looked up online. First thing that popped up, mass communication in Jogja. AMIKOM. Okay, I sent it to my dad. My dad was like, okay, good. Then afterwards, we got enrolled. Similar to Qudrah, the process was a bit hard since my passport is a Philippine passport. Therefore, trying to get the legalities in the way is a bit hard. But afterwards, once I started acclimating to the educational system and the curriculum, I started becoming more and more comfortable with it, and over time, I started becoming more. Started enjoying myself at AMIKOM during my college years.
So you guys entered in 2020,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
During the pandemic year.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
exactly.
most of them are online classes.
Yes.
For 2
So,
years.
all right. So, during your stay here in Indonesia, because it is already considered offline classes here,
Yeah.
which courses do you like the most, and do you find it the most difficult?
I literally love sociology, media law, media and gender, and intercultural communication. Then the difficult ones were quantitative and qualitative analysis.
How about you?
Since in the Philippine curriculum, I took for my senior high school humanities and social sciences, which would be in Indonesia would be EPS. EPS. My favorites were, of course, usually around politics, philosophy, journalism, and of course, my personal passion would be film, since I'm trying to build a career in film, or I'm trying to build a portfolio in film. And if I were to have an opportunity to work in film, of course, I would take it.
All right. So I wanted to talk about the most memorable projects that you guys have ever encountered. You guys must have done a lot of projects together, right?
Yeah,
in
in
your
Yogyakarta.
classes.
Sure.
So probably you could describe a few of them.
Yeah, web series is the first one, then social project, and then documentation.
Documentation.
Yeah, those are the three that I can remember that are memorable, but web series was memorable.
Okay. What is it entitled?
The web series is called Meat Lovers. So it's a play on words on meat and meeting, and meat as in beef. So it's ME parentheses AT lovers.
Okay, it's kind of like a a side dish name, but yeah, meat lovers. That's
Yes,
very
meat
interesting.
lovers.
What does it entails?
It's basically, if you were familiar with Hannibal, or if the watchers are familiar with Hannibal, it's something around those lines. It's basically about a cannibal, and some hints of romance and some psychopathy mixed into the web series.
Okay, so the genre would be the psychology.
So, yeah, psychology. It has more on romance, but then more on horror and cannibalism.
See, all right, that is very interesting. What was your role back then?
I was the director.
You?
As in the art and design department.
Okay, that is very interesting. All right, maybe we will talk about this more later, because we'll just go along the way. We are in the University of AMIKOM right now, and I know that you are familiar within this campus during your 1 year stay, but I wanted to give you some tour, maybe,
Sure.
and maybe we'll have continue to our conversation later. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We're back again on Talkative, and we are having two international students which we met before earlier, and which Qudrah is from Uganda and Ryan is from the Philippines, and we are at a different location in AMIKOM right now. Maybe you can guess which building is this?
Next to the library.
The library, yeah. The fifth building, yes, that is very correct. So I wanted to talk about your challenges during your stay here. During your stay here, maybe there are some challenges, probably like language barrier. Now, I wanted to ask, how did you overcome those challenges? And maybe you could describe those challenges for us?
For me, the toughest part would be language wasn't much of a problem, mainly because my mom eased it into me. But perhaps one of the bigger challenges was learning about culture and tradition and the social dynamics of Indonesian culture and tradition, as well as direction, nautical direction. I'll get to that later, but Filipino culture and Indonesian culture is a bit complex in the sense that there are some similarities, but there are some differences. For instance, in the Philippines, no matter who it is, you have to give a remark of gesture of respecting them. Here it's sometimes you do it, but sometimes it's a handshake. Sometimes it's the remark of respecting them. So trying to figure out which one is which when I'm communicating with other people is a bit confusing. There was one time where I did the remark of respect to one of my cousins who was elder than me. He's elder than me, so I had to do it. In the Philippines, it's like that. But then my dad told me, "Don't do that. Why? He's your cousin." Oh, I didn't know. Like in the Philippines, it's called mano, but in here it's called salam.
Salam.
Salam, and nautical and directions. I'm really, really bad with nautical directions. I don't know where's north, south, east, west, and whenever I ask for directions, uh, on di mana pa? Di mana pa? Oh, ini mas.
Lor Kidul.
Lor Kidul. Lor Kidul di mana ya? Basically, I'm really bad when it comes to nautical directions.
All right. How about you?
Me, literally, it's a culture shock. The showing of respect in Indonesia, it's so different in Uganda. So here, it's a bow and a smile, or when you pass by other person, you have to bend a bit. So that's difficult. Then the language barrier was so tough for me till to date. It's too tough for me, and it's really hard for me, and I can't. I feel out of place and lonely sometimes, and people may think I'm not talkative, I'm quiet, I'm not intelligent, but it's just the language that really confuses me, that's all.
But your environment are supportive of you, right?
Yeah, my friends are so supportive, and if I ask for help, they are there for me.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your bahasa?
My bahasa is 3.
3. All right. What about
So
you?
bad.
I think if I were to say I was around 5 back then when I started. Started meaning when my mom was easing me into it. Right now I could say I'm at a comfortable 7 or 8.5, because now the next challenge wasn't learning about Bahasa and Indonesian tradition and culture, but now it's trying to learn Japanese, which is even harder.
Yeah, Japanese is really hard.
There's like 3 levels to it.
Yeah.
Which makes it even harder for me to try to acclimate to. But it's a good thing that the people around me, and as well as the friends I've made along the way, helped me try to learn the language more cohesively and more effectively.
All right. So I wanted to ask about the education system. How does the education system compares to your origin of country and to Indonesia? Maybe from Qudrah.
My country, my host country, education is so different from my home country. Because in my home country, I think university is 3 years, but here it's 4 years. And then they focus more on practical and skills. But here you have to go to class to learn more about English and the curriculum of studying. Then the other thing is here they focus on social economy and ITC. But in Uganda, it's so different. They focus more on nursing, doctoring, and that categories and so on. But it's a long story. If I talk about it right now, it will not end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
For me, it was more about the overall dynamic of the curriculum. Mainly because when it comes to the Philippine curriculum, it's more about pressuring you to learn. But it's not the bad kind of pressure. It's actually the good kind of pressure where you're actually have to learn about it because it's going to be some form of tool or some form of skill that you're going to use at a later day or for your future. Here, it's more on about how the education, the curriculum is much more laid back. But since it's laid back, there's more time for me to process the information and more time for me to actually build on the skills that's needed for it. For example, the Philippines, since I'm a Q student or EPS, I don't have much practical skills such as filming, such as how to operate a camera, how to operate a microphone, and etc. But here it's the reverse of it. Practical is there are some hints of academic education, but it's more on practical, like practical in the sense like it's set up about film. This is how you set the camera. This is the proper way of editing, how to set a microphone, etc. And for me, it's actually really nuanced, and I really like it.
It's a fun experience for you. And yeah, okay. All right. So during your stay here, have you ever felt a sense of homesickness at some point? I mean, you've stayed here for the past year, just like 1 year, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay, so have you ever felt a sense of homesickness, and how do you manage to overcome it?
Personally, I've felt homesickness till now, but the first 3 months, they were so tough for me. I missed my dad, I missed my mom, I missed my siblings. I would call them every day, literally. But then how I overcame it is keeping an open mind, being positive, patience, and to let yourself learn more about the new country you're in, because it's your new country, your new culture, and everything is new to you. So you have to be open and be positive to it. So that's all I can say about it. How about you?
Definitely. For me, it was using my own language, it's Tagalog. For me, I cherish Tagalog a lot, especially because most of my friends are Filipinos. My mom and my dad use Filipino when it comes to me, or Tagalog. So what I would do is call them every day as well. At least use the language as much as possible, and then at the same time, try to enjoy my experience here while I'm at it. Cause why not?
Okay, that's great. All right. So after this, we'll be moving to the cafeteria part. I don't know if you have ever tried about the traditional food in Indonesia before, but I would like to introduce you to some international traditional snacks of Indonesia, and yeah, maybe we can chat a bit more about how your daily life in here. So stay tuned to our last segment and don't go anywhere. Stay on Talkative. Thank you. All right, Talkative peeps, we are here in the cafeteria of the University of AMIKOM, and as we all know, we are with the two international students, which is Qudrah and Ryan. So I would love to introduce yourself to some snacks from Indonesia. I don't know, you may have tried this or may have not, but we'll just see. So these are the savory ones, and these are the sweet ones. Have you ever seen this kind of snacks before?
Ever seen this? This only.
How about you, Ryan? Are you familiar with this kind of snack?
Most of them, yes. Except Sarabi Solo and what's this called? I forgot.
Jinting manis.
Jinting manis.
Okay, so, you usually found this kind of snacks in the traditional market, and this one is called lemper. Usually, it is filled with sayur. Sayur is like vegetables or chicken. We will see. This is kind of like surprise box, but we will see about it later. And this is called sose solo. It's a savory one. This is called putu ayu. It is made from the tapioca flour. If I'm not wrong, but there's a hint of savory on it. There's a hint of coconut on it, and then there's sarabi solo. It's a savory one as well, but there's a hint of sweetness in it. And this is called jintik manis. The taster is very chewy and it's sweet, but you guys have to experience it for yourself.
Oh.
So we'll start with Ryan first. What do you want to start first?
Mainly with
Putu ayu.
Putu ayu.
Yeah, putu ayu.
Mainly putu ayu because in the Philippines there's also called something called puto.
Puto.
Puto. It depends. There are other types that's called puto bumbong, puto ubre. Basically, it's made from rice flour and then mixed in with other ingredients.
I think it's similar. I
Yeah.
think it's similar.
So I'll try it
Yeah.
now.
Oh, this is exciting because we are going to see how it's
Similar.
it's similar.
Yeah.
All right.
But the puto in the Philippines is much more denser.
Oh, I see. So, but the texture is similar.
Texture similar.
Similar. All right. How about you, Qudrah? Which one do you want to start with first?
I'll start with the chewy one.
Chewy one. All right. Is it like the first time you tried it?
Five. And I literally don't like chewy food.
Okay.
So I want to see if this is nice.
Yeah. This is made from gelatin. Okay. Yeah, but there's like a little. We called it mutiara. What is it called? Pearls. Yeah. Pearls.
The semen.
How does this? Okay.
It's not
It's all
sweet. It's like as if I'm tasting water.
Yeah.
Chewy, it has color, but it's fair.
It's fair. Okay,
Yeah,
it's kind of all right. All right, we may move to the next snack. Probably if you want if you want to try some more, maybe from the savory side. This is, the fun fact about lumpur is they usually serve this at some events, and it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. So once you open it, you would have to be like kind of full from eating it. So just start with whatever, because you guys have to try each one of it. Each one of them.
Okay.
All right. So maybe we can move the jentik and the putu that you guys eat right here. We'll save them for later. Is it good?
Yeah.
It's filled with chicken. Is there any kind of similarities with this snack in the Philippines?
Not really, but like, close similarity would be lumpia.
Lumpia, yeah.
Yeah. But like a one-to-one comparison, not really. But since I'm half Indonesian, my mom eased it into me. I had aunties who would bring some to events, and then I would have some. Sometimes they would bring like a huge batch. Oh, ini deh buat kamu. Oh ya, terima kasih tante.
Okay, I see you've tried the lumpur one. Yeah. How about how does it taste?
It's nice. I like the texture. I like the taste. It's more like the way they fry rice in Uganda, but not sticky. The difference is the sticky part. It's not sticky in Uganda.
All right. So, while do you guys eat, I wanted to talk about probably some of the shock cultures aside from the language barrier. Who wants to start first? Maybe you could explain about one of the shock cultures here in Indonesia that may shock you to the core.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take your time.
Personally, for me, although I did mention it earlier, was one of them would be social dynamics. Second one would be nautical direction. Perhaps the biggest one would be transportation mainly. In the Philippines, there's a lot of public transportation, and the thing is that I use public transportation a lot. Here, when it comes to public transportation, there's only one, which is a bus, and
There
online
is this one-
taxis,
yeah, online taxis, yeah.
and online Gojek. Online Gojek. To me, I don't see it as a culture shock, but mainly as a less of a convenience. Mainly because, let's say for example, I don't have e-money, or like I don't have cash on me, and I prefer like taking a much more streamlined approach when it comes to transportation rather than online approaches.
How about you?
Me, my first culture shock was the religion part of it.
The religion.
Like in Uganda, on Friday, we all go to mosques and pray Juma, both females and males. But in Indonesia, it's different. It's only male. So that hit me hard. The second part is the bowing and smiling. They told me it's disrespecting if you pass by someone and don't do that. But in Uganda, it's normal. If you want to smile, if you don't want to, then smile. But then our sign of showing respect is kneeling, like kneeling down, not the bowing. And then the other one is the transportation. I was shocked to see females riding scooters. In Uganda, it's only males. Literally, if in Uganda a female rides a motorcycle, it's news. Like it's news everywhere. It's on social media. So those are the main culture shocks I would talk about.
All right. That is very interesting hearing from both sides of it. So right now, after tasting these snacks, I wanted to play a game with both of you, and this is called This or That. So I will serve you a question, and both of you will each pick one of your answer to your heart's content. Okay? Are you guys ready? All right. First question: film remake or web series?
Web series.
Web series from you.
Film remake.
Film
Film
remake
remake.
from you. All right. Interesting. Journalistic or philosophy?
Philosophy.
Philosophy as well.
All right. Reporter or news anchor?
Reporter.
News anchor.
Producer or director?
Director.
Producer.
Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
Spicy.
Bakso or mie ayam?
Bakso.
Me, I am.
Bubur or soto?
Soto.
I'm sorry, but it has to be Dudura.
Oh, okay. All right. That wraps up our last question for this or that. Yeah. Maybe for the last message of this talkative is maybe you could give some advices or suggestions to the other students or the international students who wanted to come here to the University of AMIKOM and want to pursue their studies here.
Hey, I would advise all the international students coming to AMIKOM to come and study. Before coming, they should search about the university itself, the course they want to do, and stay strong, keep an open mind, be positive, and everything will be a short walk and a come over. Then, never zav liomu aje asome, and are very open-minded. Thank you.
For me would be, since for the amount of time that I've spent here, there's this one phrase that I always keep in mind, which is "Yang penting pwede," which means percaya diri, or in English it would be as long as you have confidence. And for me, as long as you have confidence, or as long as you're brave enough to do things, you won't have any trouble trying to overcome any struggles. And of course, for all the international students who would try to pursue their education here, wag kang matakot. There, which means don't be scared.
All right. Wow. Yeah, this is very interesting because this is the first time I hear you guys speaking in your natural language, which is nice. Maybe in the future there would be more Uganda students here,
Yeah.
or maybe from the Philippines. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time for today. I had so much fun showing you around the campus. And because this is our last segment on Talkative, I wish you guys the best of luck and successful because this is your last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope maybe you can stay longer in Indonesia. Who knows, right?
We have no
Who knows? Okay.
future.
Yeah, there is so much expectations to both of you. So yeah, maybe that will wrap up our segment on Talkative for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll meet again in our future encounters. Bye bye.